Now,
static mixer.
we've got 2 of them, these heads. Now the other one I'm going to clean before I go, so it'll be clean.
Yep.
And I've only ever swapped a head about once every 12 months.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as a general rule, I give it 5 squirts into the centre, going all around the one. Make sure we're sealing the whole interior with a spatula. Okay. Now I squeeze it down at the back and work my way forward and push the glue. Now, because it's warm and it's pretty runny at the moment, I sort of can tell after you've done it for a while that is reasonably down. If you push too far down, you're pushing the glue out, and then when you let go, it comes back up again, and you've got a vacuum in there. So it's just a happy medium of getting it about flush.
Yep.
And that was 5 squirts underneath. Now I give it 4 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, before I spread it around, I get it back into position that way, and just get it into the corners. And I push anything excess to that's about flush with that with there. Okay. Now we're using the block still. There, over here. Now what I look for, I usually only use 2. I look for one that's higher, but they're all about the same. So I just go make sure that nail's got no glue on it. I just go the 2 diagonals. Now you can see that's coming up a little bit. I'll just give it a push down. Because it's fairly runny, I'm happy with that. I'll come back and check it after I've done 3 or 4. Yep.
So you only need to have 2 blocks in there.
I only have 2. Now if you've got this and it looks like one's coming up all the time, there's more blocks under there to give it another one. And obviously if it's really high, you can put a weight of some description, a battery or something on there, but that's usually enough weight, and I'm happy with that.
Okay.
It's above it. Okay. Okay, that might be gone off.
So you just pour it in there first and let it dry, and then
now this one here needs a bit of a weight on it. Put that in there. I push that in there and leave that hammer. It only needs 10 seconds.
Yep.
And make sure that is all below the surface.
Okay. You just keep talking, mate. I'll just
Now, look, it doesn't make much. I've just done it. I've actually, if I get somebody new, I always put them in the same order. That way there's no confusion.
Yep.
Number 1 is short blue. Number 2 is short red. Number 3 is such and such and so on.
Yep.
So if these kept in the same order and he keeps to the colour, he won't get the colours mixed up. Now, just got a couple to do.
the damming part so it doesn't flow out.
Yeah, yeah.
The hot melt glue.
The runnier it is, the less mess you make.
Yep.
If it's fairly thick, that will pour everywhere and you get it out of the groove.
So that temperature, it'd be good to know what that temperature is, but it's probably about 50 to 55 degrees Celsius in the part A.
I usually use that as a... now this is perfect for the, rather than a brush. It's got to be really wet and not... I do 4 at a time, then I stick them down.
This is going to change a bit, isn't it? I mean, you're going to have to put that groove in there.
Yeah, when I do the other one, the groove will have to go into the EVA.
And that's not going to be here till the end of January too, by sounds of things.
Okay.
It's not shipping till...
Now, when I go back to the factory over the weekend, or I'll find out how many mats I've got left, you're only just about going to get those 13 that we need of VUs, and that will be about it. So if you want to hold a few back...
No, we'll try and get as many as we can done on that 3 days you're back before we come back. We might actually ship that. I don't know where those antennas are. The courier is useless.
I usually get 2 or 3 sets before this goes off, and then I put another squirt into the same container.
What do you use to wipe any mess if you drop a...
Okay, now I just give it a bit of a... it's good to see a bit of it squirt out. And the better it squirts out like that, the better, because it's... now I make sure I give it a bit of pressure there to get any air bubbles that might be under there out. Now Terps, if you need to clean any excess off like I've done that, usually I just wipe it where I'm... But if there's a bit, if you spill anything by mistake, Terps is the best thing to get off with. So it's make sure there's pressure, and if it's coming out like that, that's good. Just make sure that the corners don't lift up, because that's
where the weak point is.
The weak point is.